today we'll be talking about jobs. So, let's begin. So you guys are working. I know you guys are both have jobs. So can you tell me about that? Like, how is it like having a job while being a student?
You like to go first? Okay, I'll go first. Well, let's see. Normally in college, you're like a student that has just three main responsibilities: homework, showing up to class, and doing well on test. But you also have your social life, you have sleep, and you have free time, right? Well, when you have a job, according to me, you have to give up a lot of things. Mainly, I myself gave up some of my social life because, well, mainly I don't see many friends anyways. But you don't have time. You have to study, take some of that free time to put on study, to put on actually going to work, and spending at least like 8 hours or maybe less on your job, and then getting home, doing homework, studying, and it's just a mess.
There's like a balance, and then I feel like being a student is also like a job, because you have like stuff to do and duties and
a schedule.
Yeah, and a schedule that you have to follow, or you should follow.
Yeah.
That you should follow.
Because you have like your own responsibilities,
Yes.
not only for like your job, but for your personal life and school. So I can understand how that's like so hectic for you guys.
Yes.
Besides all the craziness of having a job while being a student, what are some like benefits of having a job while being a student?
Well, a benefit is that one.
You have money.
Yeah, you have money. You can buy whatever you want. Well, it depends on how much you have, but you can buy stuff. You can, well, I will say go out, but that will require time. But it actually helps you. It kind of disconnects you from the school. I mean, it helps and it doesn't help because you have to disconnect from the school to actually pay attention to the job.
Yeah, like sometimes I can be working and I'd be like, I can, instead of being here, I can be studying or stuff like that. And it's like, it's all like a balance of everything together.
Yeah, you have to understand that while you're at your job, you have to put effort. Because if you don't, you're gonna underperform. They're not gonna want you there, and well, everything goes wrong, right?
Yeah.
So when you're in school and working, just keep in mind, school is also a job, but when you're at your own actual job, just do that. Don't think about your test. Don't think about anything. Otherwise, you're gonna mess up.
So it's a balance. So you have to isolate one from the other,
Yes.
so that they won't interfere.
Well, to try to.
Try to kind of separate them both, because if you don't, you're gonna be really stressed.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. I can only imagine because I don't work myself because I'm just a
Well, you
full-time
do.
student.
You do
You're
remember.
in college.
Yeah,
That is
yes,
a job.
that's true. We've already established it. Going and being a student is its own job in
Yes.
itself. But how would you say, what has helped you guys manage that? Because you guys said just managing time, but what are some things that you guys do to help you manage like the whole job versus life versus school?
Well, let's put manage in quotation marks, because I myself I haven't been able to grasp the perfect schedule. Like I already told my boss, the whole week, like Monday to Friday, don't even count on me. I don't have enough time for you. So if you want me to work for you, you just have me for the weekend. And she was like, fine. I mean, I am the technician there, so they kind of do it with me. So they were like, fine, the weekend we have you from the whole day. I'm fine. But that means Monday to Friday I have to finish studying, homework, test, and try to finish anything that is due by the weekend.
Like to catch up.
Yeah, because the weekend from 7, 8 a.m. I have to wake up, go to work, be there till 8 p.m., get back home, and if I'm missing anything, I just have like less than 4 hours to turn it in. So my schedule is mainly Monday to Friday, study, do everything, whatever free time I have, try and relax, and the weekend is just work. And it kind of helps and it doesn't help, because I don't have that much time for myself. I don't have time to go out with friends. I don't have time to literally do anything I want. And like I have a guitar and I don't play it like since I got here, so it's kind of sad.
Yeah, like on me, like I work Monday through Friday. Then when I used to have two jobs, I would do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. but I would do 10-hour shifts each day. So then I'll be super tired and I'll be like, I'll do it tomorrow. And then that tomorrow, it never came. So like I just had to like get everything done during the week because that job was like less stressful and everything than the weekend. So now I would have more time to like do whatever I had to do because I knew I wasn't gonna do it like in the weekend. Yeah.
So basically, having a job keeps you on your toes all the time. You always have to be basically productive in a way, in a sense, or just manage your time very efficiently.
Yeah, it's actually what you all also learn yourself. Cause
I know, but like I feel like it's different for a job because like you have to do like
do it twice.
Yeah, like you have to do. It's not just like me, like as a student, where I just have to like, oh, my class is like work. There's like an always constant work of this type of work.
Yeah.
But in your case, you guys have to be able to transition into a whole other type of
like environment too.
work mindset.
Like
it's
with
not only
customers
you.
and stuff.
You have to deal with people.
And it can be physically demanding sometimes. Like, I know, like depending on your job as well.
It's not just. It's mainly actually mental because you will see a lot of people and you will see a lot of different types. So you need to know how to handle each situation. But just being there, it drains you mentally. Not physically, because sometimes you don't do a lot of things, but mentally you have to be on your toes, being able to kind of answer to anything that happens in like a split second, and handle everything around you. And that kind of gets really heavy, because if you have a lot of customers, you need to get through them really fast, or they get annoyed, they start screaming, yelling, or they have kids and they run all over the place.
No, and then sometimes I do think like, why even have a job if I don't have time to spend the money, you know? But then like there's times that you're gonna need the money, like, and then saving up, it's also like good for whenever you actually want to quit your job. Yes.
You have a little bit.
Yes, you have something to back up.
Yeah, you always have like something to something to keep you secure, just in case. And I think that's very important, like what you said, like why even have a job when I don't have the time to spend the money?
Because you're too busy like managing school and then like and your work and everything comes together and you just don't have time anymore.
But in a sense, that kind of helps you save the money
since
you don't have time to spend it. But I mean, I understand, like you're working so hard, you want a chance to like kind of just like be able to like reap the benefits of what you've been putting in. And I completely understand how you would feel like not being able to maybe spend a little bit on yourself. But I feel like it's important that students, like especially you guys working, maybe take some time. I know it's like so hard to take some time for yourself, but maybe like, I don't know, maybe find something that, let me dedicate 5 minutes to like do this or
like a hobby.
Yeah, something like that, or something fun, because like I feel like that's important too, to be like to be able to rest.
Yes, to focus on yourself.
Yes, you can't put like your health, like things above your health, because we also have to keep in mind about your health. And speaking of like putting your health before certain things, how would you manage like self-care in terms of like your job? Like where does that come in? Where does that come into play? So you know, like you have your sick days, you have certain days where you're feeling under the weather. Where does that fit in, since you guys are saying that it's so much time to dedicate to studies and work?
What if you don't have sick days?
Sick days is that?
Well, it means, yes, like if you also actually getting sick or you're getting overwhelmed, yes, you can go and actually ask your boss like, hey, can I have these days free? And they will more likely, they have a lot of workers, they cannot tell you no. Well, they can, but most of the time they wouldn't. But the thing is, you need to actually keep in mind, if I'm taking this time off, like my mentality is like, if I'm taking this day off, I better make it productive for myself, like actually enjoy it, because that's time I'm not getting paid.
Yes.
But the thing is, I'm not getting money, but I'm getting the satisfaction of actually feeling
that you
better and
with
calm.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't feel stressed.
I get what you're saying.
Yes, and like when I used to work 2 jobs, I actually quit one job because I wasn't taking care of myself as I should, and then I wasn't spending as much time like with my family and stuff like that. Like, so then I decided to quit, and then I have more time to study, more time with my family, like me time. I have me time now. The time that I didn't have when I had 2 jobs.
And I feel like self-care or just like care for your health in general is like so important.
Yes.
But it's not easy.
It's not easy. Even like sometimes like for us students, like just pure students, like for example for me, sometimes if I don't take that self-care day, I'm gonna like crash. I'm gonna have like a breakdown. So I can only imagine what you guys are going through, like all that busy every single day of the week. Like at least I have the weekends to like kind of study or do my chores or do something. But you guys just
and like it's okay to take a break. I feel many people just work and they never take a break. So like it's okay to sleep. Just sleep in a day or go out, go shopping, right? Like it's okay to do that like once in a while.
Yeah, but you need to understand that like a lot of people not only do they not feel like they can, sometimes they actually can because they have things to pay. They cannot have the luxury to do it. So some people actually just stay in the mentality I have to work. Like they don't think they can actually have a free day because they can. So we have to keep in mind that if you cannot take that time, at least find micro minutes in a way to kind of relax for a minute.
Enjoy like a few minutes.
Yeah, like I know some people that they actually have to work, and I understand them. They're actually really stressed. They're like just telling me, how am I gonna do this? I'm like, just take it easy. But I think a lot of people just have the mentality that if I don't work, I'm not being productive anymore. And they keep on working just for that because they don't want to be useless. Because when you have a free day, because you're used to actually working,
like doing something all the time,
and you have free time, you feel weird. You're like, I'm supposed to be doing something. So now you just start feeling bad. You start feeling like you're not being productive, and then you go back at it again. So I think people need to understand, if you have free time, enjoy it. Don't worry about it. If you need to be productive, it's for you. Actually, do something you like.
I remember when I had the 2 jobs, like showering was the best part of my day because I was like, I had nothing. Like it was just me and water. Like it was my favorite time of the day when I had to shower.
Yeah, because you're relaxed, and I'm guessing
you're just
after
there.
that you fall asleep.
And would you recommend like this type of lifestyle, like having jobs to first year students?
No, like from my experience, I wouldn't recommend first year students to have a job. Like if you want to, sure, go ahead. But I don't recommend it just because one reason, and that is you're barely coming into college. Yeah, you might have done college in high school, but it's not the same. You need to understand your schedule first, understand how you're gonna study, and have an actual schedule for yourself. After you see that schedule, then you can make the judgment. I have enough time to put a job and not feeling that much pressure. But if you just go right ahead and before you even make your schedule, you're gonna have a lot of trouble. You're gonna fall behind in class, and you're actually gonna do pretty poorly in your job. So I don't recommend that. Like maybe second semester or first year, but the first semester I myself wouldn't enjoy it, so I don't think they should.
You would recommend kind of like know what you're getting into before getting into it.
And then I think the opposite. I think like go for it, and then if you think that you can make it, then okay, like you can let it go. You know.
Like I mean I know where you're coming from because again also as a college student you need to learn how to take risk and which risk to take because a lot of people I know play it safe, and a lot of people I know also play it really dumb. So you need to learn that balance between taking risk and the reward you're getting because sometimes you take a huge risk but you get a really big reward, and then you take a huge risk and you don't get anything. So you need to learn that. And like you said, if you feel like you can do it,
go for it. Yeah.
But don't
overdo it.
Yeah, and also don't go around other people like asking for help. Like I'm dying because you get yourself into it. So actually learn to deal with your trouble. Otherwise,
take responsibility.
Yes.
And I know you mentioned earlier that you had to drop one of the jobs that you had. How do you know when you have to do something like that? When do you know? How do you know when to stop working at your job?
Like when it was okay to let go. I don't know. I had a second job because I had several payments, like my car payment, and then I had to renew my DACA, so I had to save up for that. So now that I don't have like a car payment and all that, like I was like, okay, I think it's the time to let go, and I can have weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off for me. So then I decided to let go, and so now it was too much. Like everything was coming together, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna let it go. Like, I don't really need this job anymore, so I decided to let go.
And I bet that felt amazing.
Yes.
You have enough free days.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you have to put yourself in the mindset like when is the right time to let go. And in your case, it was when you paid off like your previous debts.
And,
but you're still working. It's just that not as much as before.
yeah.
But the job you have now, would you say is more as like more for more steady income? Just
Yeah, it's like a
the
more,
just in case.
Yes. Yeah.
Scenario.
Yeah. It's a internship, so it's more like like I have more me time, like more. How do I say it? Like.
And to relax.
Like no, like it's not something like it's always going, like in like fast food restaurants or everything that you always have people, like you can have time to actually sit down and be like, okay, and then you can go back at it. Like it's not like
something that's constant.
That's constantly
fast. Like fast.
So it's not as tiring, yeah.
And I know it might be like maybe not like really a personal question, but it might be for some people. But why do you guys work? Like what made you decide to take a job?
Well, me personally, well, other than me wanting to learn how that certain industry I'm working in works, I want to help my family because we've been kind of struggling a little with some payments. So by me working, it just pitching a little, it helps them and it takes some stress out of them, but also puts it on me.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with it because as long as I can help and I have a roof over my head, I'm willing to work. But if I didn't have to do that, maybe I wouldn't work. But again, I also want to learn how the industry works. So.
Yeah, me too. I do it to help my family out. Yes, and like and help me and like get to know like customer service and have like experience in something because like you learn a lot from like whatever job you have, you're gonna learn something and it's gonna stay there. Yes.
Actually, experience is the number one thing you're gonna need throughout the life. Like even if you're old, if you have a lot of experience, a lot of people will be looking for you. But like experience is everything you need.
So overall, you would say like a lot of like the benefits come from the actual experience of working itself, and the fact that some things you can't really learn in the classroom, and I guess working and learning how to manage people and those communication skills are very important. And I just think it's very rewarding to have a job. Even I don't have one myself. I would like to have one myself.
You have one. You're a student.
One of those jobs that you guys have.
Outside work.
So outside work. Outside from being a student. But I know that some people do work, like you had mentioned, for necessity because they have to keep the roof over their head. And I think it's very noble of you guys. Like even though like people might think, oh, they're just working for themselves. No, you guys are working to support your family. As if people don't understand like how stressful it is, because not only like do you have to worry about yourself, you have to worry about your family now. And sometimes it's kind of hard because the years are so young. Like people don't think to expect these types of things or this type of stressors at this age. But here you are, and you guys are doing it. I'm so proud of you guys.
I'm gonna be a diamond by the end of the year. That's how much stress it's gonna be.
Is that what?
I'm gonna be a diamond from all
the
the stress.
diamond, all the heat and pressure.
Yeah.
It's okay, but I think it's like amazing what you guys are doing. Like not only for like yourselves, but in the end, it's in the long run, it's gonna benefit you all.
Yes.
And also for students who are looking for a job. What types of jobs do you recommend, or maybe the process of getting a job? What would you want to tell first year students about that?
Make a good resume. don't just write anything on the resume. Actually, put your skills, what you know, what you experience, everything. But again, don't make it really long, because just make it short, simple, but informative. Yeah. And actually, make the resume for the work you want. Because you're not gonna make a resume about like all about engineering when you want to be a chemist or you just want to be in a fast food place. You're not gonna fit. So make a resume for your job, and the easiest thing to do is submit to a lot of places, not just one. Because some places might be full, or some places might think that you're useful, so they will hire you. And the easiest jobs, I think, is not in a fast food place.
Yeah, don't.
Like they're the easiest place to get in.
Yes.
But
because people come and go all the time, because it's a lot, so it's not that bad. also, right? But
If you want some ease in your job, it'd be either Lowe's, Home Depot, or any other like those, because they're the easiest thing. You just have to remember where it is. But if you work at a fast food place, be ready to deal with a lot of hungry people and a lot of things and a lot of children.
and then like there's also job series in campus,
campus.
so that you can apply to. So.
It's competitive. Anywhere else is competitive, but just be ready to fight for your position, because in the end, if you're trying to get a job now, it's gonna be the same as when you're an adult in your career. You're gonna be being competitive against a lot of people.
Yeah.
So just try to be your best and enjoy the experience. And
Yes,
don't hate it.
and learn from it. Like actually learn from it. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like it's something that a lot of people don't do. They just go and do
Yes.
it. They don't really actually try to learn from it.
Like many people just go for for the paycheck, like to get paid, but then you should also like look at it on the good side and learn from stuff, learn from there. Yes.
And so overall, from like the entire process of like choosing a job, find something that fits in your schedule, that may not be what fits your needs as a person, like wanting to work. And maybe some people do like working in fast food places. So
Yes.
that's completely like a personal choice. But then also being able to sell yourself on a resume or just in an application in general is also very important. And that is actually a skill that all students have to learn eventually. Like not just now trying to get like one of these types of jobs, like maybe like a fast food or just a temporary job. Like in the long run,
you're gonna need
your internships, not just jobs, like your future job or something in the future. It's gonna come up eventually. So if some students are interested in getting a job, might as well learn how to do those skills.
Yes.
And I think that's very important. And also
self-care.
Self-care. Don't forget self-care. Don't forget self-care. And
you're gonna need it.
Like you're a human too. Like.
You are human, and I feel like that's a thing that a lot of people forget.
Yes.
That you are human. That you can take a break. Can you take a break, Alan? Please.
I'll take a break today because I'll be kind of free today. But tomorrow is back to schedule.
Back to reality.
That's because you guys, how are you guys going to be good workers if you guys are so stressed?
I don't know. It was like
you guys manage?
after a cup of coffee, I'm someone new, I think.
And in terms of like being a good worker, what kind of tips and advice do you have to students who are interested in being a worker, like having a job? What types of advice do you have for them to like be a good worker?
I'll say patience. Patience has a lot to do. Like everywhere you go, patience and communication. Like know how to communicate with people.
Yeah, other than that, I mean, I kind of stress how much you need patience. You're gonna have a lot of kids running, screaming, throwing stuff, and you cannot do anything. You need to stay cool. If you see the parent getting mad, don't do anything. Just stay quiet if you need to. But your communication skills, you cannot scream. You cannot raise your voice. You cannot do anything to anybody. You have to give them the reason, and you have to. If they are wrong, you need to find a way to go around it. But be respectful. Because, yes, it's your job, but you know what they're going through. Some of them, they're really mean because they just want to, but just understand. Patience, communication skills, and being polite is going to get you really far.
Yeah.
That's all I say. Because that's all I use.
And so basically everything you just summarize is what you did to be a good person in the...
Like a good worker?
Yeah.
Like a good worker. Someone would stay for I forgot the name.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I think that's so important. Like those also tie back into what we said about how like there's some skills that you do get from having a job, and I believe that to be a good worker is also one that like those skills that you use to be a good worker is also like the ones you do take away from that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't really like understand that, but I think it's good that you guys are bringing it to the attention of first year students. And also, you had mentioned it before, sometimes you have like these crazy customers coming in. How do you manage that? How do you calm yourself down and able to put yourself in that mindset? Like, how are you able to do that?
Well, let's see.
Okay, well, I guess it's the like number one rule is that the customer is always right.
Okay.
So I guess you just follow that.
I mean, I don't really
There's
follow
different
it.
rules for every type of work when it goes.
I mean, that rule is anywhere. The
Mhm.
customer is always right. But if you know they're not, like, I myself, I have to follow it, but I don't. Because I have been in my store and there's some like 4 kids, 5 kids just running around grabbing things, throwing them to the floor, screaming, going all over the place. I'm like, just try to finish this thing so they can leave. I try to stay cool, quiet. If the mom starts trying to make any jokes, well, they're about their kids, you just go with it, I guess. But just, if you know they're wrong, explain why they're wrong. Because, yes, even though you shouldn't do it often, because you need to get in the reason of that, you have to explain why. So they understand, oh, sorry, I messed up. Thank you for telling me. Now I know what to do. Because some people are just like, oh, I want to return this. And most of the time you don't ask them why, but if it's something expensive, you're like, what happened? Did you use it? What do you do to it? And you just have to explain to them because they're human. They don't know everything.
Yeah, they're human, and then sometimes they can just be having a bad day, and then we get to be the ones that they let it off.
Get the hit.
Yeah, so we just like be patient with them and
Just be polite.
Yeah.
Like try to keep your cool and try to forget about anything else that is not the customer.
yes.
If they have kids, try to block them out and finish your job. Because if you pay attention to the kids, you're never gonna finish.
What do you have against kids?
They go to my store, grab a bunch of things, throw them to the ground, slide them all over the place, Get on-
merchandise.
get on top of chairs, start jumping all over the
Uh-huh.
place, get on my glass. I'm like, stop. And I don't tell them anything because again they're kids. They are just having fun. But they just come on, have some decency for my stuff.
Well, I think it's a good thing that you, even though it's like an added stressor to the already stressful job you do, at least you've developed the patience.
Or maybe I just don't have it and I just block it out.
And it looks kind of like I feel like you're very patient, man.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot deny this.
Yes.
You could try to convince us you're blocking us out.
I cannot say that.
I
I cannot deny nor
confirm.
confirm it.
It's okay. I still think it's a very good trait that you've developed, especially from work. And so, and for you, you'd say the same thing, just like developing the patience needed for that. And in terms of like the job, in terms of like the money, what happens when you get your paycheck? Like I don't have a job, so I don't know what to do. Like you get a paycheck, what do you do with it? Where am I supposed to take it? What happens? Like, can you walk me through the process of that? Like,
Just save up. Actually, I will tell you this: don't spend it all. Just save up money. Because yes, you have your paycheck and you use it all. Then what next? You have a whole week without money. So just save money. Actually, don't use it all. Yes, you can spend some, but put some away. That's all. That's all you need to know about paychecks, I think.
and you say the same?
Yeah. Yeah, save up for whatever, because emergencies can happen.
Mm-hmm.
So then you know you have something there.
Okay. Well, this has been a very informative discussion. Thank you so much for sharing your guys' experience with that. So overall, save your money, take care of yourself, learn from your job. There are benefits from having the job. It's not just an added stressor. You're doing it for a reason.
Yes.
So to any first-year students who are interested in a job,
Go for it, but know what you're getting yourself into.
know your limits. is what
Yeah,
I'm
know
trying to
your
say.
limits, yes.
Okay, and thank you everybody for listening. And this has been another episode of the FYE podcast.
Thank you.